Swirly, we're live. Welcome back to another episode of these crazy people that just eat meat and can't stop talking about it. I'm Tom. This is Joe. Joe's over there eating a strip loin. He's got a nice fresh piece of steer there. Just pulled out of the pan. I could see the steam coming off of it.
It just came out of the pan.
Yeah, very
need
nice.
to eat. Need to eat. Tom just went for my run. So I'm up to week 4 of 13. So increasing slowly, and just got to get the beef in, so it allows me to recover, so I can train again on Wednesday.
Why don't you shock the audience with your age, since you got those boyish good looks?
44.
44. And
Yeah.
Joe's been an avid cyclist for a long time.
Yep.
And he shifted into running lately because it's going to fit his schedule and his environment a little bit better. And he wants a little more challenge. Right?
Well, that's part of it. The other part is because it hasn't stopped raining here since November. It just rains every day. It's been mental. So I thought I'll take up running.
Mental weather.
It's shit house. It really is. It's just, you go for a 2-hour ride and it takes you an hour and a half to wash your bike. It's not worth it. So I took up running, and that's been quite interesting. It's been quite a challenge because I've got the cardiovascular fitness from cycling, but obviously the structure is not hasn't adapted to running yet. Well, I don't have a running physique, running structure, so.
Yeah, you've had a little bit different muscular and joint development from cycling.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, you go from zero impact to, impact that might be like, I think it's 8 times your body weight every time you run. So, yeah, I've had bruised knees, strained calf. So yeah, I'm waiting to see what's going to happen this week.
All the joys of starting a new sport, right?
It is, but again, it's you've got to, again, I've got the motor of a V8, but the body of a
Fiat.
So, yeah, probably worse than that. So yeah,
an 83 Yugo.
Yeah, probably, but one of those Mr. Wiener trucks, I think, one of those ones.
Oscar Mayer Wiener truck.
That's it, one of those. But so yeah, so we're just getting, I've just got to go back to basics, run slow, and just build a base, which is what I've always told you with training. You got to build the base so you can then do those heavy lifts and those repeats, multiple repeats.
Right. Say hello to ADS. He's in the house.
ADS.
And he mentions Tucker Goodrich has been advocating barefoot running. Interesting, and that you should bring that up because I'm a big fan. Not that I'm a big runner, but I'm a big fan of the
Vibrams.
Yeah, the Vibram 5-finger shoes, which are kind of like being barefoot. They're pretty damn close. In fact, in everyday life, I wear like a moccasin or a deck shoe, which has just got a thin rubber sole. It's flat rubber sole. Because I had foot problems my whole life. And prior to carnivore, I was having these weird pains in the front of my foot, near the ball of my foot. And went to the doctor and sent me to the podiatrist. And they're like, oh, yeah, you got to wear no more walking around barefoot. No more. You got to wear shoes with good support and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, the thing that fixed it was going barefoot more and wearing 5 fingers and moccasins with basically you just have like the 5-finger just has a really strong rubber membrane, right? It's like almost like putting a glove on your foot. And so that's what I work out in. And then I wear typically moccasins to work. Sometimes I got to wear steel toe boots, which are like the most structured shoe you could probably buy, right?
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I grew up wearing specially made orthopedic shoes because I had flat feet. So the idea of fixing that when I was a kid was you cram your foot into this heavy shoe with a metal plate to force your foot to form an arch, which will wound up giving me really thick feet. So my instep, the top of my foot is really high, and I have a huge arch.
I was just going to say, the thing about barefoot running is obviously it's the most natural form of running, but it forces you to run on your mid to forefoot. Whereas when you got a pair of shoes on, people would tend to heel strike when they run, and that can cause all sorts of problems.
Yeah, well, we evolved with really no shoe, and all the
100%.
oldest shoes are just, usually like a leather bottom.
Yeah.
And you get into modern shoes and they almost all have a thick heel on them, right? They're not flat in the heel. They go from a little bit to a whole bunch of heel, right? Especially in a boot.
Well, imagine what a pair of high heels would do to you.
Right.
Yeah. So, lower back, shoulders, just everything. Like, it completely ruin your posture.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think just wearing shoes with any kind of heel on them kind of contributed to my back pain back when I had sciatica so bad,
Look, I typically walk around the house barefoot, or I might just have a pair of socks on. But as soon as I'm out the door, I've always got a pair of shoes on.
Right.
Yeah.
See, Christina's here. Hello, Christina.
Hello, Christina.
Yeah. Civilized as we get, sometimes we're our own worst enemy, right?
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, the 5 fingers are good because I've actually stepped on broken glass before and they didn't go through.
Okay.
And walking on even gravel actually is fine. I don't know if you guys, outside of stores and stuff, do you guys have those transitional strips on the ground with like bumps so that blind people know they're about to step into traffic? You know what I'm talking about?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
So we have these here, and they have these like big dots on them, and it's like walking on that in a 5 fingers like a foot massage.
You do the moonwalk on it.
Yeah, I do the moonwalk. It feels great. Of course, you step on a rock of any size, and it can be kind of painful, but
right in the middle of your foot arch.
Yeah, so I've been wearing those 5 fingers for several years now. It's funny because every once in a while I get done at the gym and I still got them on, and I go in the store or something, and inevitably somebody will ask me about them. People are really curious about stuff like that.
Yeah, they're quite popular. I mean, where I live in Sydney, we've got a bay that's quite popular. It's called the Bay Run, and it's a 7-kilometer loop that goes around the Bay of the Inner West. And from time to time, you do see people running in those 5-toed shoes.
Yeah, I know other people have made them in the past. I haven't seen other ones for sale recently, but I think like Adidas or Fila or somebody used to make them. So, but anyways, I like them. They solved all my foot problems. So,
well, Nike used to have a pair called the Rift, and it was just the toe was cut out, and the rest of the foot was together. And they were designed for those African runners that are so used to running barefoot.
Yeah, I mean, really, all you need is something to protect the sole of your foot from sharp objects, you know.
No, around here you need to protect your foot from dog shit because it's everywhere.
Really? Until it started raining every day?
It's mad. People don't give a shit. It's against the law. If a dog poops and you get reported to the ranger, or if a ranger sees you get fined, or even if the police see you get into trouble.
Here they just shoot you.
Or do they?
If you get caught.
What, the neighbors? The neighbors or the police?
The neighbors.
Oh, okay.
They're going to bother to call the cops.
No, take too long for them to get there.
Yeah, I mean, I walk my dog all the time, and every once in a while, you know, My dog's it's a dog. It likes to stop and sniff everything, you know. So like my dog will be just sniffing, and I've seen people run out of their houses to look to see if my dog crapped on their lawn. So, and I know my lawn gets crapped on every once in a while, and dogs pee on it, and I get dead spots, and it's kind of painful. But I always clean up after my dog.
I'll have to take your dog for a walk down the street with my Aussie accent. Just say hello to everyone.
Right? Yeah, it's a do it.
Trip them out.
Yeah. I was out the other night, and this guy was kind of jogging down the street, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He came over, and he was smoking a joint. He was jogging and smoking a joint. It's cracking me up. So.
You lessen the pain, muscle pain,
right? I think it was.
I mean, you see people. Sometimes you see people running around the bay, and as soon as they get back to their car, they light up a cigarette and they start smoking. A good one, mate.
Yeah, I got one neighbor. I've seen him out doing calisthenics, and then he'd stop and chain smoke. So
crazy. Yeah.
Hey, what's life without a few vices, right?
So is Justin tonight?
Justin's at a concert. He went with family members, friends
Justin.
to go see Papa Roach. Trying to remember where. I mean, somewhere near where he lives. So he may pop in to do a live report from the concert. So Bart
live reporter showing off.
What's that?
Live reporter showing off that he's at a concert.
Live report showing off concert. Is that what you said?
Is he doing a live report, or is he showing off that because he's at a concert?
Oh, he's showing off that he's at a concert, but he's calling it a live report.
Yeah. Correspondent.
He's really just bragging. He's holding on to his youth with both hands and both feet. Yeah, Christina says shoes suck. I transitioned to barefoot shoes, mostly barefoot, even when I do my sprinting. It's totally transformed my life. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think ADS mentioned something about bras or brasiers causing problems with breasts as well. So just like shoes, you know, you can over support the breasts too, right? Yeah. Not that Joe's going to talk about his wife, but I have noticed that a lot of girls, when they get home, first thing they do is want to take off their bra because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, 100% they do. 100%. And then you see how far down they really hang.
Right? Yeah, it's natural.
And tuck them into the socks.
Can't stop gravity.
No.
Yep. Just how it is.
So what's going on?
Have you had to up your food intake with the new training?
Not really.
Not really.
Not really.
About the same amount of output.
But yeah, about the same. Although yesterday I did have 2 steaks after my run. So I've backed up 3 days. I've done 3 days in a row. Only because I'm being quite busy. I'm starting a new job, and I've just been helping out while I'm still at my current job. So
right.
So I had to back up 3 days in a row. Eating's still the same. Pretty much. Yeah, nothing's really changed.
Yeah, you know, Justin and I have been working on that series for the short ribs where we talk about fitness tracker data.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some screenshots. Maybe you should probably do one of these with us because you've got a different fitness tracker. You could talk about yours a little bit, but I'll share the screen here. You could see this is how much my energy expenditure can vary. If you look right in May, the middle of, let's see, what is that? 3rd, 4th, 5th of May, my caloric expenditure was about 7,000 calories.
Wow. In a day.
In a day. Yeah, these are all just days, and you could see I spent plenty of days over 4,000. So, I mean, a light day for me is like 3,500 calories. So, I'm always curious what sort of change in routine will change change your caloric deficit.
Well, I mean, I've
or
burnt, so
surplus.
looking at my watch, I've burnt so far 1,277 calories. And it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Mm.
So,
And you've already been for a run.
yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So it'd probably take a little while for you to taper off, right? You probably still sort of got a bit of energy flowing because you're replenishing from your run, right?
Yeah. I mean, and on top of that, I do a little bit of running around as well. So I'm probably about 3,000 calories today.
Well, Vanessa Vazagov and T-Mach 5 are here. Hello, folks. Glad to have you.
Hey, peoples.
So Vanessa probably just got back from In-N-Out. So T-Mach was probably racing around Tokyo in his fancy car with his sister Trixie. And what was the monkey's name? Did you ever watch Speed Racer when you were a kid?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No. No.
Didn't he have
I don't even know. I can't remember if we even had it here.
I'm pretty sure he had a pet monkey or a monkey friend. I haven't seen it in a very long time.
Speed Racer?
Oh, they made a movie in 2008. I haven't even seen it.
Okay.
Did have a monkey. Chim Chim, of course. How could I forget that? Oh, Vanessa didn't make it to In-N-Out yet.
You see, I went to Macca's the other day because
Did you?
I finished the new job and I had to go to the other job, my normal job.
Should I translate for us people across the pond?
Yeah, go for it.
When Joe says Macca's, he means McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's. Sorry. And I had 8 beef patties and 8 slices of cheese on it.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm in training for September.
Take a wild guess and tell us roughly how big you think the McDonald's beef patty is.
As in weight or size?
Yeah, weight, yeah. You can do it metric style.
It's about 100. It's about 120. But see, they call it a quarter pounder. But is it before it's cooked or after it's cooked?
It's probably before, and it's probably it's 2 8 pounders, right?
So
you know what a pound is, by the way? I know you live in a metric world.
Just kidding. But it's 455 grams. Am I right?
Very good. Very. A pound is it's about 455. Yep.
About you should know.
Yeah.
It's a bit less than half a kilo.
So quarter pounders 4 ounces, right? So those are roughly 2 ounce patties, just like at because a quarter pounder is 2 patties, right?
No, a quarter pounder.
Or is it 1? I don't even remember.
No, I think it's 2.
Yeah, so they're 2 ounces each, just like at In-N-Out.
I was close. ADS rate 454 grams. I was close.
It's
and I was 113.4 grams to a quarter of a pound.
The picture I'm looking at is a single patty, so it's 1 4 ounce patty. So you had how many? A zillion of them?
I had 8.
8 4 ounce patties of cheese. That's respectable. That's more Flying Dutchman than I've ever eaten in one time. But there's always today.
But But to be honest, I could have had more.
You could have had more than 8 quarter-pound burgers
Yeah.
with.
Yeah. So it would have been 5 Flying Dutchmen, maybe 6 I could have had. Yeah, no problem. So I hadn't eaten for 20.
Oh, that's right.
Just
Flying
over
Dutchman's 2 patties, so
Yeah.
they're about this. They're about equivalent. So, and you get 1 slice of cheese with each quarter pounder.
No, I get well, on each patty. It was 8 beef patties and a slice of cheese on each. So 8 slices of cheese on 8 patties.
So yeah, so we got to find out if that's an actual quarter pounder size meat. Damn, that's a lot.
But I hadn't eaten for about 26 hours. So they didn't even touch the sides. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Didn't even touch the sides.
So just went, yep, okay, could have bought more.
Wow. Yeah, so Vanessa, we got some training to do so we can beat these guys at eating Flying Dutchman. Anybody else who wants to show up? Got to show Justin and Joe how it's done. Hopefully the heavy hitter will be there. We get Sean to show up because I know I know he posted a picture one time he ate like 10.
But 10 over how long?
That man doesn't eat slow. He probably ate it in like 10 minutes.
Yeah. So I and this is no bull. I probably ate all those beef patties in about 10 minutes because I was in a rush to go to the other to my current job. Yeah. So it went down real quick.
Well, Vanessa, you're just gonna have to practice and push your limits. Me too. She says she can eat 3 after a long night.
Yeah. Is that all? No.
That's all. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go straight over there after we get done recording today. Last time I made the mistake of going down to the kitchen, fixing the dog dinner, getting some for somebody else. It's like, oh, I'm hungry. I eat some of this, some of that. I was eating. I think I had some steak, I had some turkey, I had some cheese, and then I went and got Flying Dutchman. Not today. Yes. I'm not going to make that mistake today.
Yes, I mean you probably could have eaten about 10 yourself.
Maybe.
Or five Flying Dutchman.
That day I ate 8 of them. I was really full. Or not 8, I ate 5. You remember I sent you the picture?
It wasn't that long ago.
I was pretty full. That might have been last weekend. So
hang on.
Monday
full for the rest of the day or full for just a couple of hours?
I felt pretty full for at least 2 hours. I don't know. So I'll have to check this time. Yep.
And I'm assuming by the looks of the photos that you've been sending through, it doesn't seem to be as dry as a McDonald's beef patty.
No, it definitely. I don't go to McDonald's very often because the line is so long. I really don't have anything against McDonald's, but I literally have not probably been to one in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just always crowded here. And In-N-Out's faster. They got a faster drive-through and everything. So a lot of times I hit it on the way to the gym or sometimes even on the way to work. So if I leave for work late, they're just opening. In-N-Out, there's no line yet. So yeah. But
actually,
I do think you're right. I do think it's moisture.
Look, the McDonald's beef patties, I mean, you got to dunk them in water before you eat them. They're so dry. But I did notice, Tom, that the very first McDonald's that opened up isn't very far from your place, from your house.
Yeah, I will. I could kind of picture it in my mind because it looks pretty old school. But I don't remember what town it is.
No, it's not that. Remember, it's not that far. I had a look last week. I thought, where else can we go? I thought, that'd be nice. Go there and say I got something, some beef patties from McDonald's.
So there's one in Downey, I think is the original. And then there's one in San Bernardino that they turned into a museum or something.
That's the very first one.
The one in San Bernardino?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So maybe the one in Downey is the one that was one of the first ones. It's got the old school architecture, and they've kept it original kind of. The original McDonald's, the oldest McDonald's restaurant. Let's see what that says. Nothing like doing your homework while you're live, right?
Yeah.
But people want to know. I'm sure ADS has already looked it up. So let's see. Where is this?
I mean, how cool. I traveled all that way to go to the very first McDonald's that ever opened and asked for just some beef patties.
Yeah, I think the one in Downey is the first one, it says here. So let's see
I thought it was one at San.
Let me find out. Yeah, that's where the restaurant is.
So I thought the museum was the location of the very first one.
The original McDonald's, a museum in San Bernardino. Yeah, I don't know. I have to get to the bottom of this. It's on some stuff to do on. It's on Route 66. So, and you know, it's kind of out that way too. Not too far from there is A&W, which used to be like a chain here. Like, used to drive up and they'd come out to they'd serve you in your car.
Yeah, I've been to one of those when I was in Florida.
It's like because A&W is a root beer, a brand of root beer, but it was also a restaurant chain somehow.
Okay.
And most of them are gone, but this one is still there. So, and it's not that far. So I have to go by there. Of course, Route 66 is famous because it's been in a bunch of songs. And that I actually, I won't tell anybody, but the Donut Man is also on Route 66. So let's just do the Route 66 tour.
Yeah, for sure. We start from Santa Monica Pier. Isn't that where it ends?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know actually now that you mention it, but that sounds about right.
Bloody hell, Tom.
The yeah, and ADS mentioned the In-N-Out Museum in Baldwin Park too, which is it's kind of the other side. It's closer to LA, but yeah, it's not that far.
So the one thing I need to do is buy In-N-Out merchandise. I reckon is the best merchandise out there. So they've got, I don't know, I've shown you that skateboard they've got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to get one of those.
Yeah, they always have cool t-shirts.
Yeah, but I want to get some t-shirts, but the skateboard is just, it's mad. It's so sick.
Yeah, we'll go to because they have all that stuff at the university.
Do they?
Yeah, I think the one in Baldwin Park, the original location is in Baldwin Park, and close to there is the In-N-Out University.
Well, Baldwin Park, I know, I've heard of that place. That's where all the police chases go through.
Absolutely.
They're in Downey.
Yeah, they're in Downey. In Buena Park.
Buena Park. 100%.
Yeah. For sure. We'll be clowning around with Ronald McDonald.
Yeah. But we've got some got to go find a nice prime rib.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So basically, for all of you guys that are new or have forgotten, in September I'm going to visit Tom and Justin in LA, and we're going on a food safari.
Yep, should be rich for content. Well, we're gonna film each other stuffing our faces all over the Southland.
Yeah. So I mean, if anyone's interested in joining us, send Tom an email, and we'll give the details of where we will be. One of them will be Meet on Ocean, which is Ocean Avenue or Ocean Boulevard in Santa Monica. So that will be a special dinner.
So ADS says if we get in a police chase to head for the airport because the helicopter can't follow us to the airport. So
Yeah, I'm aware
it's a
of that.
hot tip.
So believe it or not, one of my hobbies is, and it's been a hobby of mine since I was a kid, is listening to police scanners, and then from that, Facebook, whatever, started watching police chases in America, and I've been doing that for about 6 or 7 years now. So yeah, I'm aware that once they get into the near the airport, they're not allowed to fly through.
Yeah, so Joe frequently sends me a message when he's watching a police chase in LA all the way over in Australia. Gives me the heads up over and over again. And then if he misses one, then it's fair game to harass him because he's slipping.
I missed one the other day.
Yes, you did. You made some silly excuse about being at work. I don't know what that is.
Well, usually I watch it at work. I wasn't notified because I get all the notifications on my phone.
Mm-hmm.
I have 8,000 TV channels on my phone, and I can watch whatever I want from anywhere. So, and at home, of course.
Must be rough.
Yeah, it's tough.
How many of those 8,000 you think are in English?
Most of them. There's a few of them are in Spanish. A couple in Italian.
Yeah, it does say on the website for the original McDonald's, the museum does say site of the original McDonald's. So maybe the other one is the only one, the oldest one that's still operational as a restaurant, because I don't think they serve food at the museum.
Okay.
That must be what it is. I'm just guessing. We'll do a deep dive on the history of McDonald's one of these days.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. All right. So did it stop raining today or what?
No, it's still raining.
Forecast
is rain all week.
Any police chases in Sydney?
Nah, our cops are shit ass. It's so soft. Like they
seem brutal.
No, that was in Melbourne.
That
was in Melbourne. Yeah. That's definitely not in Sydney.
Southern cops are the ones that like to pepper spray 14-year-old girls for not wearing a mask.
Oh, that was hang on. That was during all all the Rona shit. Yeah, but our cops here, they're useless. Really useless. They can't even pull out their gun.
Don't they have some badass high speed or really fast police cars? Then they have like custom built.
Yeah, so we've got
Chevys or something.
So we used to have the it's called a Holden Commodore SS, which was a V8. So basically like was it a Chevy over there? I think you guys used to have like
a two-door a GM subsidiary.
Yeah, it was a so I know you guys had a few of them over there that were built here in Australia but rebadged as I think Chevys. But yeah, so then they closed down the plants here, and they had to find a police car that would be able to, handle well, accelerate well, brake really well. So they ended up with an SRT. Was it Charger? No, not Charger. Chrysler. Chrysler.
Oh, it's a Chrysler.
SRT Chrysler. Yeah, the 6.3 liter Hemi. Yeah, and also the 535 turbo diesel BMW. So there are highway patrol cars, super fast. But as soon as there's a police chase, they terminate the pursuit. So what's the point of having them?
They're no fun.
Yeah.
No, it's no fun when you're not chasing. I mean, you get all the cars going, the helicopter.
Yeah, Pontiac, there you go.
Yeah.
So that GTO Pontiac now. So a couple of years ago, you could probably get them for maybe $60,000, $70,000, and now they're fetching over $500,000, maybe more. They become collector's items.
Yeah,
There's no more General Motors holding here in Australia.
Yeah, there's no more Pontiac division here in the United States either. So there's no more GTOs, period. There's no more
Mm.
Pontiac anything here.
Well, the GTO was a two-door Monaro, Holden Monaro. So from memory.
Yeah, so that was I forget what body it's shared with other models here, but it was basically, small coupe or sedan with a I think they put like an LS2 in them or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you guys look up, Holden HSV Club Sport, they're the hotted up cars that we had over here. But if you just type in New South Wales Police Highway Patrol cars, you should be able to see
So what's
the
the irony of having those
Chrysler.
cars and not doing any chasing?
Yeah. Look, there was a police officer that was in it, was chasing after someone and crashed into a car, and the person became a vegetable, and yeah, they're very soft here. Like here, they're not allowed to have more than 2 cars in a pursuit. And then when you watch the live streams from your neck of the woods, Tom, there's 13 cars following. There's a whole heap of cars. There's a convoy.
ADS is asking, do you watch John Cadigan? He hates Holden. I don't know who John Cadigan is.
But no idea who he is.
Another rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Did you see that really slow police chase like a couple weeks ago where everybody was running out and kicking the guy's car, throwing bottles at him?
yeah. I saw one a couple of years ago where they were going really slow, and they popped all 4 tires on the car, and the guy is running. There are people running next to the guy taking selfies, and the next thing you see a guy riding next to the he's on a bicycle, riding next to the car, popping a mono as he's riding next to him.
Really?
It was pretty funny.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that guy that was in that really slow chase, he got out. He kept getting out and flicking off the police.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Remember?
And they shot him with a beanbag. So he got back in his car and he'd only stick his hand out. It was pretty funny.
But see, the difference is over there compared to over here. That they're more than likely going to be armed. Okay, we're over here. They're armed with what, a screwdriver? Like, our crims here are really petty. Yeah, okay, we have the odd shooting here and there, but it's not like over there where it's just every day there's something going on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people here. I like to make the point that I think there's more people in California than there is in Canada, and there's more people in Canada than there is in Australia, and so on and so forth. So,
well, there's more people in California than we got. I mean, I think your population is double ours of all of Australia. I think we're 26 million. I think you guys are 40, 50, whatever it is, close to double.
Yeah, it's something like 50 million. It's hard to say because a lot of people have left. And then, of course, a lot of people come and go that just really aren't counted. I mean, we have legal migrant workers and illegal migrant workers. So how do you really put numbers on that? It's hard to say.
Yeah. So, Tom, just a question. I know you're saying a lot of people are moving out of California, and I guess it's due to the cost of living. But, I mean, how are you guys finding the whole meat situation over there? I mean, have you got shortage of meat, or there is an abundance of meat, just the price is through the roof?
Meat in general, we go through short periods of time. During the COVID, there was both supply chain issues, and there was people that were kind of hoarding or buying more than normal. Not everybody was hoarding, but some people are like, oh man, I better buy a little extra, right?
Just in case.
And I think people are like, well, I should cut down on my trips to the store because the modern pestilence was moving through the population, right? So the fewer times you go to the store, fewer times you're exposed. So you would go in, sometimes there would be I don't remember there ever being no beef, but there would be very few cuts available. Sometimes the chicken would be wiped out. Sometimes there'd be very few cuts of pork available. And of course, other things like toilet paper, paper towels, bottled water, you know, COVID tests, all that stuff would be sold out, you know.
Fridges, freezers.
Yeah,
Couldn't get
fridges and freezers.
couldn't get anything.
Yeah. No, I have my friend ordered a freezer to put. He shot some game. He was gonna go hunting, and he ordered a freezer, and I think he waited like 4 months or something like that, or just to get a freezer. Of course, it's a nice big commercial freezer, but yeah, you'd go in and there would be no freezers, refrigerators in stock for a while because of course everybody was like, yeah, we gotta buy some extras and keep them on hand. Now, the other day I was at one of the big box stores and they actually had a limit, but not on like an individual tray of meat, which are quite big at this store, but they had a limit on the number of cases you could buy.
Oh, wow.
So it was like 3 cases of meat or whatever. So, not all that limiting for everyday person, but of course, if you have a restaurant or something, that could be an issue.
No, but I mean, if you've got a restaurant, you buy direct from a supplier. You would be buying from a supermarket.
So, well, this isn't really so much supermarket of like something Costco size, and they do service. In fact, I don't know if you only have one Costco there, right?
We've got 2 now.
2. So we have actual Costco business centers.
Yes.
And so you go in there and there's no TVs and clothes and stuff. It's all bulk stuff for businesses. You know?
Yeah, I think they've got that here. They've got an option that you could here as well, but it's still within the same store. So it's just a business account that you open up.
Yeah, so it's easier to go in a place like Costco or Sam's Club. Like if you want to buy an entire case of tenderloin or something, or New York strips, you can do that. Or if you want to buy a whole, let's say like prime rib roast, they're going to have more in stock there for sure. If you go to the local market, they might have one in the back they haven't cut up yet, or 2 in the back they haven't cut up yet. But if you go to like a Costco or a Sam's Club, they probably have 20 in the back.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, most restaurants do have wholesalers that supply them, you know, so, but not all of them, you know, and it probably just depends. Certain products, they get a better deal buying it from the Sam's Club next door than they do from they haven't found a supplier yet or whatever. So,
oh, look, I mean, there are some restaurants that are quite small, so they don't need a supplier. They just buy what they want from. They've got a Costco account. They buy from there.
Yeah, and then you know you got a lot of like caterers and stuff that don't have a regular restaurant or whatever, and they're not serving the same food all the time. So they're catering specialty stuff for different events, and so you know sometimes it's easier for them to just go in and buy it because we have a supermarket that's kind of a crossover between regular neighborhood supermarket, and then they also kind of sell a lot of stuff for catering and stuff, and it's called Smart and Final.
Okay.
Smart and Final, which is just it was a chain that was just acquired by Bodega Latina, I think it was. So Bodega Latina is a chain from south of the border. So, but they're pretty big chain, but not huge stores, but they do have some bulk stuff and you know like catering supplies and stuff like that there. So
yeah, see, we're starting to see that. There was an article I think I sent it to you last week, the week before, saying that the price of meat's going to go up. And it's like,
yeah, I've been hearing
already.
A lot of that. Yeah,
already.
So,
I mean, about a couple of months ago, I saw some ribeye. We call Scotch fillet over here. It was about $48 a kilo. The last time I saw it was about a month ago. It was at $74.99 a kilo.
That's almost like what, a 50% increase right there.
Close to it. It's insane. And they're saying it's going to go up. I mean, how much more is meat going to go up? I mean, to the point where we can't eat meat anymore. We have to start. We have to live on ground beef, or
Have you heard the explanation as to why the prices are going up in Australia? Or
no? I've got to ask Norm. He'll be able to tell me. Actually, no. Sorry, it was something to do with. Sorry, I think it had to do with the export, Chinese export.
They were buying more or something.
I can't remember. I skimmed through the article. It had something to do with that.
Yeah, prices haven't gone up here that much. There was some spikes, it seemed, and then prices came down, but as usual, not all the way down to what the price was previously, per se. Because I know, I shop sales a lot, so I buy strip loin, sometimes Scotch fillet or prime ribeyes, and T-bones. Like I just bought T-bones. I think I paid $8 a pound, or if $7 or $8 a pound for T-bones on sale, and they used to be, wasn't that probably pre-modern pestilence? It was probably like $5.99 a pound.
It's so cheap though.
And then it went up to $6.99 a pound. Now it's like $7.99 a pound. On the weekly specials, we have really competitive weekly specials between supermarkets. So try to get you in the door to pay top dollar for something else.
Yeah. So look, we've really only got two major supermarket chains, which is Coles and Woolworths. Then we've got Costco, but obviously you need a membership for that. Then you've got Aldi and IGA, which is an independent supermarket, And because I think that lack of competition, they're able to flog everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we of course we've got, Australia is a big country, but the middle of it's not heavily populated at all. So
there's populated with snakes,
snakes and dingoes, right?
Dingoes, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's just I mean, we've got all the deadly creatures here.
Well, we've got a lot of people, so you'll find a lot of regional chains, that aren't that big. And then you've got national chains, and the national chains oftentimes have grocery stores with different names on them, right? Whether because they bought up another chain along the way and kept the old name, or they just branded it different because it worked better in that area or whatever. So, but I could think of one national chain, even though they have a lot of different name stores, I think they have 3,500 grocery stores.
Publix?
Not them. I don't know. I should know how many Publix has, but it's a big parent company. I probably shouldn't say too much because it give me trouble at work. But
I went to a Publix when I was visiting my cousin in Florida. And it was massive. I'd never seen anything that big. It was huge.
Yeah.
Like our Costco here is big. This was massive. It was insane how big it was.
Yeah, I've never actually been in a Publix.
Well, this was in North Florida. It was quite a while ago.
I have to see where. I think Publix is actually based out of Florida, and there's quite a few in the South.
CVS is that's a pharmaceutical, correct?
Yeah, it's basically a pharmacy. They have booze and
do they?
Snacks and stuff, but yeah, it's a pharmacy with a lot of convenience stuff.
A pharmacy that sells booze, so that makes sense.
Where else do you buy your booze? What, a liquor store? Come on.
Not in America. Crazy.
Yeah, so you see a lot of crossover, and we call it a drugstore, but
we call them chemists here. We're gonna go see the chemist.
Right, the chemist. See how many public stores there are nationwide.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting times ahead, Tom. And I think, you know,
Yeah, Publix has almost 1,300 locations, so they're no small.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but
That's all right. No, I was just going to say it's interesting times ahead, you know, and I think a lot of these chains, suppliers are going to be bastards about it because they're always going to use, but it's because of the war, it's because of the virus, it's because of this, you know, and they're just always going to play on that. So
a little bit of leverage to keep the prices higher.
Yeah, of course. It's all about profit, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, you know, I'm sure they want to make a profit, but you know, a lot of these companies, they're not. I mean, from my end, my professional experience, you know, a lot of their issues really is theft. You know, so that's one of their biggest expenses. That, and of course, payroll. Payroll's always the biggest expense.
Always
in most businesses, but yeah, they're dealing with theft is a big issue because here we don't in California. I think you got to steal more than $2,400 worth of food at a time to get prosecuted. So if you push out a shopping cart full of booze and you've got a little bit of food in there, if they catch you, they'll just take it back. They won't. There's no court appearance, nothing. There's not. I don't think there's even a ticket because they don't even put it through the court system.
Sorry, did you say $2,400 in one go?
Yeah, stealing that much at one time.
Do you know how many trolleys or carts you'd need to have full? I mean, $2,400 it's a lot of money. It's a lot of food. I mean, it'd be carts full of food.
If you grab a bunch of cognac and a couple loaves of bread, can add up, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're just flogging food, I mean, it's a lot of food.
That'd be a lot of food, yeah.
I mean, it'd be pretty obvious you walking out with 3 or 4 carts full of food.
Yep. Even in states that are relatively strict, like Texas, I think it's $1,600. And of course, when the modern pestilence descended upon us, even arrests like that were probably pretty rare. If you manage to, because what they do is they fill up a trolley or a cart with the stuff, and then they just wait for a good opportunity, and they run out the door with it.
Okay.
So if any of it's food, then there's a certain amount of rules. If you just stole liquor, or razor blades or something, which are expensive, then it'd probably be handled a little different. But it's so common. It's like, you fill up the jail with people who are stealing stealing food when you got criminals running around shooting people.
You need to build a jail just for them.
Yeah, right. So, yeah.
Hit them with the death penalty. That'll sort them out.
Do you even have that in Australia?
No. Nah. You joking?
Yeah, I don't think
here you probably get a bigger fine for illegally parking your car than for carrying drugs on you. Seriously, it's mad.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Well, it's probably not much money in busting drug dealers, right? But if you can collect on everybody who parks illegally, you can probably pay for quite a few overpriced patrol cars.
I mean, look, everything here is expensive. Yeah, you just put your car into a parking station here can cost you up to $60, $70 a day, depending on where it is. Yeah.
Last time I was in Chicago, it was like that. Yeah. LA, it's interesting because downtown LA, there's all kinds of paid parking lots and stuff like that, and they're really not that expensive compared to other cities.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
oh, wow.
I used to be downtown LA a lot for work, and I'd pay like $10 or something to park for something like that. That, it's in a crowded city. It doesn't seem too outrageous, especially when you go to Chicago and it costs you. I think when I was staying at a nice hotel in Chicago and it was costing me like $80 a day to park at the hotel.
Wow.
that I had a room at.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
when you left the hotel and you tried to go to dinner or go to a meeting or whatever, and you moved your car, it was like another $80. It's like, holy crap. So,
I mean, New South Wales is quite expensive, and I'll give you a good example. Back in 2000, and I don't know, it's quite a while ago, 2007, I went to Adelaide for a cycling event, a tour down under, and we'd parked our car, and we didn't put any money in the parking meter. We see the parking inspector there, writing the ticket, so we quickly run out. And, we look, gave them the whole story. Look, we're from Sydney. We're really sorry. We just quickly ran in. We didn't want to be that long. We don't have any change on us. He goes, look, I'm really sorry. I've already written out the ticket. And she was really cool, really, really nice lady. And we asked her, how much is the ticket? And she said $13. I'll never forget it. It was $13 was the parking fine for not putting my. And we looked at her and said, are you serious? She goes, yeah. I said, if that was Sydney, back home, it was about $180 fine.
wow. Yeah. So I'd expect like $180 fine. How much was it for the parking meter just per hour or whatever?
Oh, I can't remember. Well,
it's probably like a couple of dollars an hour out of parking.
It wouldn't have been that expensive. I mean, the $13 fine, it's mental. We just looked at the lady, said, well, now we know that, we're just going to park it here from now on, not putting money in the machine. It's so cheap.
Right. Yeah. A lot of places when you have metered parking in LA or Santa Monica or whatever, it's really not that expensive. You can, I don't know, $2 an hour or something, $1.75 an hour. It's not that much. And most of them take credit cards. So
yeah. So here it's I think $2.80 an hour. In certain locations.
Yeah. I mean, I know I've parked. I don't go to LA. Well, I don't go to LA for work anymore, and I don't go for pleasure very often either. But yeah, I think the last time I went down there, I parked in a structure, and it was like cost me like $15 for a day or something like that.
It's so cheap, man.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the food's pretty expensive. The food costs more than the parking down there for sure.
Yeah, but you don't mind if the food costs more than the parking. If it was the other way around, you start to worry, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Right.
So how long is it going to take for us to get to meet on Ocean? Or do we just get Doug to drive us there?
Dad, it all depends on what time of day we go.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we go to try to go during rush hour. I don't know, 2 hours, something, 3 hours. I don't know. I know people that live in LA and it takes them an hour and a half to get from work to home. Right.
Wow.
Like my aunt, she used to work. I'm trying to remember how far she worked in Santa Monica and lived in Culver City or something. And it'd take like an hour and a half, hour, 15 minutes to drive home.
How many miles?
I don't know, like 15, 20 miles probably, something like that.
Okay.
And of course, yeah, I live way out.
Which is about it's about 8 Ks.
Yeah. Are
you serious?
No, probably it's more like so it's probably a 25, 30 kilometers, something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half. I'll have to ask my buddy because he lives in Hollywood and he works. I'm trying to remember where he works. I was complaining because it took me like an hour and 15 minutes to go 18 miles from the office to the gym. And he's like, well, how far is that again? I said, like 18 miles. He's like, oh, that's not too bad. He's like, takes me blah, blah, blah to get from here, to go like 10 miles from home to work because he lives basically in downtown LA or wherever he works. So,
I mean, the traffic here is quite bad as well. I remember I used to work in a place called Chatswood, and it would take me over an hour to drive 16 kilometers, and sometimes an hour and a half. So the last half an hour was 3 kilometer stretch of road. It could take me up to half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes to drive it. That's how bad it was.
So often do you get hungry and wish you had a steak with you when you're sitting in traffic?
Nah, never.
Never.
No. I've never been stuck in traffic and gone, boy, I'm hungry. I've been stuck in traffic and gone, boy, I need to go to the toilet, but not hungry.
Yeah, no, I'm always prepared because I mean on a Thursday night, Friday night, sometimes, or if there's just a bad accident, because I think the most it ever took me to get home was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Wow.
To go 27 miles, something like that, 28 miles. So that's, whatever, 50 kilometers. Yeah. So nothing to do but sit on the freeway and try not to roll into the car in front of you.
Especially all those lights. Your freeways are what, 5 lanes wide each way, 6 lanes wide each way.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I think down there or that stretch of the 91 is like 6-7 lanes on each side. 2 of them are like toll road, like pay extra to drive over there.
Express lanes.
Yeah, express lanes, and then the other 5 or 6 or whatever it is. Probably the width changes here and there, because of the hills. But yeah, so yeah, it's a massive. The freeways are massive and they're still clogged. Of course, they have the same problem in China. That I think the widest freeway I've ever seen is in China, where they have these massive traffic jams sometimes. Holy cow!
Yeah, our freeway is, I think, 4 maximum.
Is that right?
Each way, yeah, and that's only just recently they extended that. But then it gets to a point where it becomes 2 lanes. So whoever built these roads obviously didn't have a vision.
So I know you don't buy meat in the market that often, but
No.
If you wanted to go to the market, how far do you have to go?
Look, I'm quite lucky because where I live is quite central, so I can. It's about a 4-minute, 5-minute drive.
And then to go pick up meat from Norm, how far is it?
With traffic, we're looking at maybe 25 minutes.
No, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Nice.
But the savings out, it's huge. So, yeah. Typically I can get there in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, maybe all the people out there can tell us what they're paying for meat right now, how far they got to go to get a deal.
And do you have a wholesaler near you that you can maybe hit them up and say, hey guys, happy to pay cash?
Yeah, I know. I don't live really close enough to a lot of farms to make deals with the farms. I've called a couple and never really connected, but we have so many grocery stores in every direction. So I always just stop into places that have the meat I like when I'm out and about, so I don't have to make a special trip. In fact, I cut up 5 T-bones today. Cut them up and put them in the freezer, so I'll be ready for the week. And I already had 1 or 2 in there. So I think I had strip loins before that, or New York strips that I had that cut. They're ready to go. So Vanessa's asking, Joe, do you do a meat delivery service to get your stuff?
No, I go there and pick it up myself.
He knows the guy. He's got a guy.
So a really good mate of mine, he's a meat wholesaler here. So I'll go there and typically we'll just go through the boxes and pick whatever I want. Sometimes he's got half a beast in there, and he'll he's breaking it down and give me some T-bones or whatever off it. So yeah, But as I said, I think it's really important. I mean, since the virus, a lot of suppliers got burnt because restaurants closed down, didn't pay their bills, so they went to payment on delivery. So that's why I'm saying, if you guys have got a wholesaler around you, approach them and just say, hey guys, I'm on a carnivore diet. I'm happy to buy some. I'm wondering if I could buy some meat, for cash.
Cash is king, baby.
100%, 100%. And I know here now they say yes. Whereas before they go, no, we're only a wholesaler.
Yeah.
And but because they got burnt, they'll do it.
Yeah, they need the money. Sure.
Yeah, well, a lot of restaurants closed down.
Right.
They didn't get their money, and because a lot of restaurants are closed down, there's not that demand like there used to be.
Yeah, when I get a chance and I increase my refrigerator space, I'm probably going to try and buy more wholesale.
Yeah. I mean, that doesn't hurt to ask. I mean, they make good money on meat. Don't worry. So just go out there and do your homework. Save some money.
I'm looking forward to getting a little fridge just to hang some meat in to age.
Yeah, I know you can buy dry age bags as well. But a little trick that I do is I sent you the video from that French chef. Remember Tom, where he gets the meat, salts it, puts it on a rack.
Yeah.
So it can so it's got the airflow that goes under the meat or throughout around the whole meat, and he'll keep that in the fridge for about 24 to 48 hours. And I've done that quite a few times, and it almost is like dry aged beef. And you do, and I salt it as well, so it's interesting because and you're right, even if you salt the meat and you're going to cook it in 20 minutes, all the moisture, salt will draw out the moisture. But if you let it sit, the moisture will come out. And if you let it sit long enough, the moisture goes back into the meat. And I was very skeptical about it because as a chef, we've always been told, never salt your meat.
Till the very end, right?
At the very end, you're about to cook it. But yeah, it's legit works. It's not bullshit.
Well, Christina's got to drive at least 35 minutes to the grocery store. Oh, I have to look up the steak ager.
But the steak, I mean, they're quite expensive. I was looking at one for home, and they're quite expensive. So, and again, everything's expensive over here.
Yeah, Christina, what state are you in? I know the state that has more deer than I can imagine is Wisconsin. Every time I go there, I come back and I tell people, it's like when you're in California and you see house cats walking around all over the neighborhood, that's how many deer there are in Wisconsin.
People walking them down the street.
They're just everywhere. They're just also going to walk through the yard. I saw like a 10-point buck just walking between the houses one day. I was like, the hell? But it's illegal to shoot them in town, so you can't.
Have you ever seen those giant moose walk down the streets in I think they're in where are they, up north?
Minnesota,
wherever.
Canada, Minnesota, yeah.
They're massive.
So they got a lot of deer in Alabama, huh?
Alabama. Well, my cousin's from Alabama.
Yeah, Joe's got a cousin down there.
Yeah, she's actually here. She's come to visit. She's actually from here. But yeah, she lives over there now. She lives in Huntsville, in North Alabama.
We could go to Alabama and just eat barbecue the whole time.
I want to go. That'll be my next trip, Tom. It'll be obviously LA. Visit you. Visit my cousin in Alabama, and that's it. Back to LA for a little bit, and then home.
Yeah, Rhonda's cousin lives in Alabama too.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to know they got plenty of deer in Alabama, but I'm telling you, Wisconsin, there's got to be more deer than people. I'm not lying. Because you could drive down the highway, and I mean not like a major interstate, but like a, kind of peripheral highway, and you will see a dead deer laying by the road like every other mile. I'm not kidding.
It's
There's
like us with kangaroos.
freaking like you and kangaroos.
Yeah.
You drive by and you see this farm, and there's some deer just standing there munching away. They're just walking around. You go around a corner on a country road, there's deer just standing there looking at you.
They cause much damage when you hit them.
Oh yeah, they total cars all the time.
Yeah,
Rhonda
like
clipped
us.
one because the thing is, you're just driving down the road and then they run out in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So she clipped one. It ran away, but she hit like the back leg or something, and it, busted the headlight and dented the fender, and there was still hair in the front of the car when she got it repaired. But she drove it all the way from Wisconsin to California, and there was still hair in the grill. So.
Beautiful. Yeah, we've had. I mean, I've got a friend of mine. Every time he comes up to Sydney, he's hit kangaroos quite a few times, and they total cars big time.
Yeah,
and there's even been photos where you see the roof through the front windscreen of the car. It's actually in the car.
Yeah, that happens here. Both deer and elk will go right through the windshield, and they'll be in the car. Yeah. Well, I think when Rhonda was back in Wisconsin the last time, she saw a bear that got hit by a car on the freeway.
Yeah, that's a big animal. You'd expect it to do damage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think she said they were putting it down because he was hurt really bad. So, but he's probably chasing the deer, of course.
Did you see that video I sent you of the kangaroo that was attacking the golfer?
No, I forgot. I didn't see that one.
You didn't see it? Wow, it was so the guy's running around the golf cart and the kangaroo's chasing it. He trips over and it just rips him.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure I would have sent to.
I probably forgot.
People's perception is that a kangaroo, they're just beautiful, like little cats. They're aggressive bastards. They're really aggressive.
How much do you think one of those big reds weigh?
Oh, I don't know.
100 kilos at least.
More. I mean, you've seen how muscly. You've seen how muscly.
Yeah, they're all muscly and they're jacked, right?
Yeah, it's like a little grey kangaroo, but on roids.
And they're like at least 1.5 meters tall, right?
Yeah,
little more, maybe. Yeah.
Now, look, I've seen some big kangaroos where I go, oh shit, I'm gonna put my window up and lock my doors. Yeah, they're huge, and I mean they're not in the city. Obviously, they're heading out towards the country, but an hour out of Sydney and you've got kangaroos jumping around.
Huh? What a crazy world.
But there was a video also of a cyclist, and it's funny because I've ridden through there quite a few times. Guys just riding along and the kangaroos jumping next to it. Next thing is just turned around and he's just attacked the cyclist. Yeah, they're just mental.
Well, everybody hates cyclists. Just kidding.
Don't say that. Bloody hell.
Magpies hate them.
Oh, especially you, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, magpies are really aggressive. They'll attack you. Yeah, as I said, we've got everything that can kill you is here. Yeah.
Everything that could kill you. Well, you don't have mountain lions. Or do you? I don't think you do. So there. You don't have
that's only
bears?
One.
Do you have any bears?
No.
It says you don't have bears.
Yeah, we do. Koala bear.
It's not a freaking bear. That's a huggy little stuffed animal.
Yeah, hang on until it rips you. Have you seen the claws on those things?
How many deaths do you have in a decade from koalas?
None. No, but they're aggressive. Yeah, but hang on, but look at all the snakes we've got. Yeah, inland taipan, death adder.
You got a lot of snakes.
Brown snake, red-bellied black snake, tiger snake. I mean, they might not be the most dangerous because they don't attack as many people as a rattlesnake. Mm-hmm. But their venom is more potent than pretty much anything out there.
Yeah. Well, here you only get bit by the really poisonous ones out in the middle of the desert, and then you die and nobody even knows you got bit. So it's hard to say.
Yeah.
And we do have scorpions.
Yeah, we got box jellyfish. irukandji, jellyfish. Like we just got, yeah. I mean, it's
Don't go in the water.
Birds that attack you called magpies, black and white.
It's a miracle you survive.
Yeah, well, I mean here you've got, obviously like you guys, you've got bull sharks, tiger sharks, hammerhead sharks, great whites. We've got some of the biggest great whites in the water here in Australia.
Yeah, I don't see why
especially in South Australia.
You should be eating them. I mean, it's only fair because they'd eat you.
Make fish and chips out of them.
There you go.
Yep. Actually, I want to ask: does anyone out there eat seafood? And what seafood do you like to eat?
I know I eat my fair share of shrimp every week.
Yeah. I like oysters. Okay, my three favorites are maybe four. I like scallops, prawns, shrimp, oysters, and I love tuna.
Yeah, I got some bluefin in the freezer for when you get here.
Nice.
Yeah, but I like the tuna. I like halibut. But I don't eat it much.
Mm-hmm.
I've eaten everything at the sushi bar. Mm-hmm. So whatever it was, eels, calamari, you name it.
Yeah, I like calamari.
But I don't eat a lot. I don't eat a ton of it. It's expensive.
I like lobster, but
who doesn't?
That's expensive as well.
They used to serve lobster in prison here. I like wild salmon, but I don't make it that much.
Yeah, I like wild salmon too. I actually like the texture of it better than obviously the farm stuff. I mean, here we always had farm salmon from Tasmania, and it's just been the past few years now you could get the wild caught stuff, which is from Alaska. So obviously it comes over frozen.
Tasmania.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was trying to get Bart to send me a Tasmanian devil. I figured he could find one on the black market in New Zealand.
They're from Tasmania.
Yeah, I know, but it's not that. If he's a lot closer to it than I am.
Yeah.
We were gonna have a battle between a Tasmanian devil and a what the hell was it? There's some weird varmint that lives out in the desert here. I gotta remember what animal it was. We were just getting into the silly talks about crazy animals. Let's see. Vanessa likes the wild salmon, and Christina likes the shrimp, salmon, tuna, sardines, anchovies. Pretty much all seafood. Yeah, there's too much seafood I don't like.
Yeah, likewise. I like all of it, but my preference are those that I named. I do like scallops cooked in butter.
Javelina. That's what it was. We were going to have a fight between a javelina and a Tasmanian devil.
A what?
Javelina.
The hell's a javelina? Some mystical.
It looks like a wild boar. Looks like a small wild boar, but it's not even related to pigs. I always thought they were a type of pig.
How big are they?
They're not huge, but they're really aggressive.
Yeah, have you seen the size of a Tasmanian devil? They're tiny.
Yeah, so I'm trying to look here. See if it tells us how big they are. They travel in packs too. So like when you see them, you think they're
gangsters.
Yeah, you think they're a bunch of wild boars or something, but they're actually kind of like a giant rodent. So if we got a good picture here, I'll show you what they look like. They're kind of that's what you think of it is because like they're kind of small, like a Tasmanian devil, but they're aggressive, and They look like a pig, but they're not for some reason. It's confusing.
Hmm.
Sometimes people eat them, and you mostly
Javelina.
find them in the desert here, running around. You see that?
Oh wow, look at it.
You know, looks like it should be related to a pig, right?
Yeah, it's got the head of a rat though.
Yeah, it's got kind of a pig nose on a rat face almost,
Hmm.
but it's got that thick, bristly hair like a wild boar.
Melbourne Zoo.
Yeah, that's in the. There you go.
Melbourne, Australia.
Yeah, you can go down there.
Because I know there's a Melbourne in the States somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have to look and see.
It's a bit of an ugly.
Oh, not in public domain. Better take it down before we get caught. Do. The stop sharing go. Now I can't find the stop sharing.
There you go.
So that's what a javelina looks like. So they live all the way from the western United States all the way down to almost the bottom of South America.
Hmm. Have you ever eaten guinea pig?
I have not had it, but there's been several people in our autistic carnivores that do. I know one lady, she lives in Spain. She raised guinea pigs and ate them every day.
Yeah, because I think it's quite popular in
Peru.
Yeah. Koya. I think
Kui.
that's how they pronounce it, something like that. Yeah.
I think it's kui, but
Kui, yeah.
I'm no expert on the guinea pig. They're popular as pets here, but I don't know anybody around here that eats them. They're kind of cute little fuzzy guys, that make that little noise. So here they're more kind of a pet, but I'm pretty sure it's in Peru that they've been they're kind of a staple food in some regions.
Wow. It would be like eating a quail. Lots of little bones everywhere.
Mm. Yeah, I can't. It seems like it'd be hard to fill up on. I saw this TikTok video the other day. This lady was munching down on a rabbit, a whole rabbit. She had a whole rabbit.
God.
Paws still on it, ears still on it, and it's cooked, and she's munching on it. And I was looking at that, going, "Wow, there's not that much meat on there." It is a big rabbit.
They're very lean.
Need a lot of butter to eat that thing. Lots and lots of butter.
It's like eating crab. I mean, it's just they're huge, but by the time you get through all the shell and everything, there's not much meat there.
Yeah, I know.
And it takes so much time to eat the thing, and then you're picking out little bits of shell. That's why I don't eat crab.
I'm kind of the same way, and a lot of people want to argue with me. Even like the Dungeness crab, I get it. It tastes fantastic. A lot of work for not a lot of meat.
Yeah. And if you go to a restaurant, they flog you for it as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go buy like crab legs or something, they're crazy expensive. Yeah, lobster's a better deal, I think. But even that, most of your lobsters aren't that big. They're like a pound, right? Half a kilo. I mean, you can get bigger ones, but then you pay an astronomical amount of money for the really big ones.
And the thing is, I mean, it's most of its head anyway. And look, your lobsters are very different. We've got crayfish here, although we call them lobster. So your lobsters have got the big claws, correct?
Yeah.
Ours don't.
Huh.
Yeah,
well, we have crayfish, but they're freshwater, I think.
No, ours are saltwater.
Oh, you have saltwater crayfish.
Yeah, but we call them lobsters here.
If you go down in the south, they're quite popular, but they're not that big either. They're they're like that big.
Have you guys got scampi?
I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't know what scampi is.
Okay. So it's like a mini, a bit bigger than a prawn. Very similar shape to a lobster.
So it's somewhere between a prawn and a lobster, huh?
Yeah, but very, very sweet meat. Expensive as hell. find them.
Seems like a lot of work for not a lot of food.
Oh, it's very expensive. Very, very expensive.
Because we do have they do serve a dish called shrimp scampi, and maybe that's what it is. This
Do you
is
like mussels?
I do like mussels. I've never had a shellfish I didn't like really. So I was buying oysters, and then they got really expensive and kind of scarcer the last 6 months or a year or so. I haven't been buying them. But I like mussels and oysters and all that stuff.
You know what we'll do, Tom? We'll get some oysters.
Yeah.
We'll cook up some bacon. No, sorry, we'll get some bacon, finely cut it.
Mm.
I'll cook it up in a little bit of butter. Then we'll pack them onto the oysters. Okay, and put them under the salamander. Well, put them in the grill. You have cooked oysters like that.
Oysters with bacon and butter, you say?
Yeah. So here we call it. Here there's a version. It's called oysters Kilpatrick, but that's with Worcestershire sauce and yeah. But that's pretty high in sugar and carbs and all that shit. Tastes good though.
Raymond Neff is asking about yabies.
Yabbies. Yeah. They're quite small over here. Typically, we'll use them for bait to go fishing.
Never even heard yabby before.
Yeah. So you need a big pump. It's quite big. You put into the sand and you it's like a big syringe.
So it kind of looks like a lobster.
Yeah, but really small. They're not that big. Or over here, they're not that big. I don't know. Have you guys got yabbies over there? Obviously not. You never heard of them.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they could be in other parts of the U.S. and they're just not popular here. I don't know.
So here you can find them in fresh water and also salt water as well. Where are you from, Raymond?
Never tried oysters, but everyone seems to love them. Yeah, oysters don't even really have a strong taste.
No.
So.
But do you have different varieties over there?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's a lot of them are farmed. So like you go to the store, they'll carry one type. It tells you on the, they're usually like you get the fresh ones that are still in water. It tells you what type of oyster there are. And there's a lot of the ones I've had are very similar.
So we've got Pacific oysters, which are quite big, and then we've got Sydney rock oysters, which are much smaller.
Raymond's from Moreno Valley. He's close by too.
Oh, cool! You can come join us for our challenge.
Yeah, at least hit up In and Out with us.
Yeah. Again, as we get closer to the day, Tom and I, and obviously Justin, we'll discuss. What day would suit to have a bit of a meetup. It'd be nice to meet everyone over there.
Maybe we could have a yabby eating contest.
Oysters. We invite Vanessa to an oyster eating contest. Oysters are good. I like them. And again, you can have them fresh, or you can have them. You can steam them. You can, saute them in a bit of butter. There's lots of ways you can cook them. You can make oysters mornay. Which is a cheese sauce, and put it in your grill.
Sure.
So where is Moreno Valley?
It's like maybe 15, 20 miles east of where I live, a little bit north. It's not far.
Okay.
Maybe a half hour drive.
So northeast.
Yeah, I think it's kind of northeast.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember.
So further west, you're heading more towards the water from where you are?
Yeah, you're heading more towards LA. So if you want to go to the water, you kind of go south. You could go straight south and you wind up in the water in Orange County, or you go west and south and you wind up in the ocean in LA.
Okay.
And I think Vanessa lived out towards, I think a little bit east of where I live. I can't remember. She said something last
Upland
last week. Oh, that's right. She lived in Upland. That's right. So she lives basically straight north of me.
Hmm.
In fact, I was up in Upland 2 weekends ago for a, what do you call it? Like an outdoor market. Mm,
Like a
oh,
food fair.
trying to remember what you call a farmer's market. We went to a
Oh, okay.
farmer's market there at the right behind the library. I think it was at the Veterans VFW Center or something. We're outside, so it's
And
those
you
people
you
set
bought
up.
yourself some kale, some berries.
Oh yeah, it's got some nice fresh kale. Had a smoothie while I was there, and yeah, I got some cucumber facial cream and
Beautiful.
oh yeah.
Some vegan chocolate.
Oh yeah, some like fair trade vegan chocolate because I'm all about the chocolate.
Clowns.
Actually, Rhonda and I bought a really we each got like we took Rhonda's dad, and he wanted to get, I don't know what it was, taffy or something, and
What?
taffy, it's like a candy.
Toffee.
Taffy, it's like sugar putty. I don't know how to spell it.
How do you spell it?
Taffy or something like that.
Okay. I thought you were saying toffee. TOFF.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
like a coffee
That's-
flavored peanut brittle kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
it's like almost hard, but when you chew it, it softens up, and it's just, I don't know
Softens up your
exactly.
teeth.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how they make taffy. I think it's
So it's almost like a gum.
it's like it's like gum, but it dissolves when you're chewing it.
And you spit it out like yeah, or
No,
you
swallow
ingest
it.
the whole. You ingest it.
So
You guys have got so much shit over there. No wonder why your population's so obese.
yeah, it's because you'll see like in like carnival displays, they're like stretching the taffy like dough. Do you have these machines that like stretch it,
Mm.
But
It's
then
not
when
like licorice, is it?
no, it's harder than licorice.
Oh, you know what? I've just had a memory blank. I'll think of it. I'll probably think of it when we're off air.
There's some super. When I was a kid, it's probably still around. There's a brand called Now and Later, and it's like a taffy, and like they're usually like fruit flavored.
Mm.
Whereas the ones you see at the carnival are usually more like coconut and strawberry and stuff like that. But the thing about the Now and Later, it would stick to your teeth so hard, you bite into it real slowly. Like if you had a loose tooth and you bit into it, you could rip that loose tooth out. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Or have you ever heard of an Abazaba?
A what?
Abazaba? It's a taffy bar with like peanut butter in it. I can't remember.
No.
It's like
No, we don't have that here.
white taffy on the outside and peanut butter or something in the middle. I don't know. Somebody help me out. Somebody tell me how to tell Joe what taffy is.
No, we'll just look it up on Google. That's why we have it there.
It's made from sugar, cornstarch, and corn syrup.
Okay. So it's really bad for you.
Oh yeah, it's like the fountain of youth. Laffy Taffy. Oh, Starburst. Starburst is a taffy too. That's a good point. And I've heard of Laffy Taffy, but I don't know.
Starburst.
Starburst is like a fruit flavored, like a real
Lollies. We call them lollies.
Yeah, it's a type of lolly.
We call them lollies over here. We don't call them candies.
Right. Laffy Taffy. Let me see. Because a lot of times taffy comes like in a little pellet. It's in like wax paper.
Starburst, I know what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure we got them here.
Yeah, it's a big brand. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
The Laffy Taffy, I don't think I've ever had, but I've heard the name before. Oh, Skittles are you have Skittles there?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a piece of taffy with a hard candy shell on it.
Yep.
Okay. That's what that is. So I guess that's what this thing is.
The fruit flavored Skittles.
Yeah.
I was never a fan of Skittles. Never liked them. I liked before, obviously, my previous life. It was M&Ms. I liked M&Ms.
Sure.
And I loved Maltesers.
What's that? Is that a malt ball?
Yeah, chocolate coated malt ball. Absolutely
Okay.
beautiful. That was
Yeah,
my
we
favorite. I didn't
have
have it all the
chocolate.
time, but if I did want something, that was my go-to.
Yeah, we get chocolate covered malt balls. They if I don't know about everybody else, but for me, it seemed like they would show up around Easter with the chocolate bunnies, maybe Halloween.
Mhm.
That's weird because I haven't seen a chocolate covered malt ball in a long time.
So you guys don't have Maltesers over there?
I
Probably
don't
just
know. I
rebranded
don't
something
remember
else.
the brand, right? I just remember there being malt balls. Oh, I think are they called Whoppers? Like it came in a milk carton and it was like a milk carton full of
No, don't know. No. This was a red packaging. But then over here we had
teaser.
Bounty ice cream, Bounty chocolate bar, which was a chocolate coated coconut bar.
I've seen that red package from Maltesers before.
And we had cherry ripes.
That I've never heard of.
Never heard of a cherry ripe. So it was a chocolate coated cherry candy. That was really nice.
I do remember having something like that as a
Whoppers.
kid.
So Raymond said yes, Whoppers.
Yeah, Whoppers are a chocolate covered malt ball. I
Okay.
bet I could find those. I'm gonna give you diabetes when you get here.
No, it's okay.
What was the cherry thing called?
Cherry ripe.
Cherry ripe.
You know what? I'm going to bring you a cherry ripe so you can taste it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah.
I've had like a chocolate that had like a cherry in it.
Mm-hmm.
But
No.
this looks like it's got like a filling in it.
Yeah, I'll buy one for you to try. I'm
All
not
right,
going to buy you a
everybody
packet of them. I'll buy you one.
can start wagering. Am I going to give Joe diabetes or is he going to give me diabetes? I already told Joe when he gets here to buy a second plane ticket so he can fit on the plane home.
My fat ass. Hey, listen, I plan on running when I'm over there. Thank you.
That's right. You can run all you want, but
I don't think I'm going to bring my cycling gear. I think it's just a bit too hard. Too much mucking around.
Yeah. Well, you can run. Shit. You can run all the way to the beach and back.
Yeah, I run through Compton.
Yeah.
Run through.
If you go through there running, don't stop.
No, I don't plan on. Don't worry.
If you're just walking casually, you'll probably be all right. But if you're running, somebody's going to chase you.
Yeah. With any luck, I'll be on TV.
Yeah. Why not? First LA police chase where they're chasing somebody on foot.
Yeah. Who's an Aussie?
Who's an Aussie?
Yeah.
Don't worry. They won't know you're Australian because they won't understand a word you're saying.
I'll just tell them I left my jumper behind. I'm looking for my jumper.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I lost my sunnies. Anybody see my sunnies?
You know where I can buy
my pocket in my boardies.
You know where I can buy thongs from? Do you guys call them flip flops? We call them thongs over here.
Well, if you said you needed some thongs, they'd go, shoes or underwear?
Underwear. I'm after a jumper. I'll never forget that in Santa Monica, 3rd Street Promenade. Yeah, I'm after a jumper. The guy looks at me and goes, what? A jumper? And I was explaining to him what a jumper was. He goes, a sweater. I went, yeah, okay, that's what I'm after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll be there to translate for you. I'm used to speaking Australian now, or at least listening to Australian.
Well, back then, crack a day. Yeah, back then we didn't have Google Translate. We didn't have smartphones. Now we do. So it'd be much easier to get around America.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you walked into a store and asked for a jumper, they'd think you're looking for little kids' clothes.
Jumper
or the little
the
thing
car.
you put a kid in to jump up and down.
Yeah. Go to a store and ask, mate, can I get a kilo of Scotch fillet, please? And then try and explain to him what a Scotch fillet is and see if he gets me the right piece.
Right. Well, if you go to an actual butcher shop, they probably know. just go to the grocery store, they probably won't.
See, for us, a ribeye is a Scotch fillet on the bone. It's got to have bone. That's what it's called, rib. It's got the rib still attached to it.
Yeah, I was eyeballing some of those tomahawks yesterday.
But see, your tomahawks aren't like ours. Your tomahawks have got a small. Our tomahawks are massive. Like the bone on them is a meal in itself.
You can get it that long, but of course they won't fit in most display cases.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you can ask them to leave the bone really long or something like that. But if they got to put it in a display case or they got to wrap it on a tray or something, then they cut the bone off.
I mean, to be honest, you're better off having the shorter one anyway because you get charged for that extra bone. It's all weight, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, that extra weight, you can go buy yourself another tomahawk with actual meat on it instead of bone.
Right. Yep. For sure.
Yeah. All right, how are you going soon?
Yeah, me too. But anyways, it's good hanging out with everybody. Thanks for the comments, and hopefully we'll see you guys September, early October. Yeah, we have to ask him to leave the short rib meat on. Yep. All right. Well, everybody take care. Eat some meat. And whatever you do, feel better and don't
fall down
the carb hole.
See you guys.